Welcome back to Hawk.
Oh my god, it's Hawk again. Episode
This is a
2 of
story.
Hawk.
This is a
Yeah,
story of a hawk.
well, Hawk and some other people, I guess.
Have you ever heard of Berserk? Band of the Hawk? What do you think they're named after? They know who's really in charge. It's
Yeah,
the pig.
mm-hmm. That's exactly how it goes.
Somebody send me
Anyways,
art.
what?
Somebody send me art of Hawk from Seven Deadly Sins dressed up like Femto from Berserk.
Oh, nice.
No, do it.
That's
Somebody do it.
somebody didn't do it, but you want them to do it. I see.
I want somebody to do it.
Okay. Maybe that someone will be me. I don't know.
Maybe I'll do it.
I'll draw a stick figure of it. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna look really, really solid.
What are we doing? What did we do?
We
What did,
read more again,
how much
like
how much
always.
did we read?
35 chapters.
Ah, yeah. We
Yeah.
read like 27 to 59, 26 to
Yes.
59.
Yep. And like any like extra chapters that were like mixed in there.
Yeah, and that's anime episodes 9, like second half of episode 9 through the first half of episode 16.
Okay.
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 Oh, my sweet
Um
little baby. Okay.
yeah, so like basically we just finished we're going into the Vaizel Fight Festival arc, which is
Yep.
cool and stuff. It's
And
my
after
favorite
that is
arc.
the
And the armor
oh,
giant arc, yeah.
yeah, that comes next. We'll talk about that later this episode.
Yeah. Um anyways, so like picking up right where we left off, I know last time we talked a little bit about the like their sacred
Sacred
treasures.
treasures.
Yeah, yeah, we kind of like
Yeah.
jumped the gun a little bit on that just because if it was a little bit more relevant to that arc, I feel. Well, actually, not
Mm-hmm.
not really, but whatever. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so we kind of learn about the sacred treasures and learn that uh, when they use like a sacred treasure, their like power is like amplified like exponentially in it. I guess.
It's
Um,
like it's like they can draw out more of their own power through a sacred weapon better than a regular weapon or through their bare hands.
hmm It's like good for channeling magic, I guess, or whatever. And also, it's
Yeah,
a weapon, and weapons are cool.
that's pretty cool.
Except only King has one right now because everyone
Everybody
else
else,
sucks.
yeah,
They're failures at life.
yes,
Yep. Um
that's correct.
yeah. So they like want to get their weapons or something. I don't know. I didn't read.
Yeah, that's like a sub mission that they're on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean like it's like very important in like increasing their battle power because right now like they're fighting at a great disadvantage and like they really
right.
should have like by all rights they should have like annihilated Gila in the last arc, but they couldn't because they didn't have the weapons because yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Uh,
I think we've
oh
talked
yeah,
enough about that.
yeah. But we also in that little conversation we learn a bit more about like what the type of enemies we're going to be facing. King tells them that up until the other day, Gila was just some like no name apprentice holy
Hmm
knight. So and they're like, "Oh, really? How'd she jump up in strength so bad, so much?" And King's like, "I don't know, but there's a lot of them popping up around the place, artificially empowered, or well, he doesn't say that, but like
Yeah, yeah,
suddenly
that's the gist
empowered
of it.
holy knights, being called the new generation." And
Hmm
we find out later what they're all about. But I just wanted to say that the new generation is a trope that I just love in general, which is
hmm
artificial empowering. I think that's way cooler than just like, oh, we trained super hard for like 3 days. I much prefer cooler examples like, oh, we we drank this demon blood and now we have super strong powers. Oh, we got new weapons. That's cool. That's
Hmm.
cooler to me.
Well, yeah, but like I don't I feel like it's not something that you can like do like solely like because then it would just get really stupid. Like if every character like gets stronger by like not putting in any effort, then it's like stupid and boring. So I feel
Yeah,
it's good here where there's this
a
dichotomy
mix.
between, you know, the characters that actually put in the effort and the characters that just like drink demon blood and
Hmm.
become strong.
Right.
I mean, I guess
Well,
there is sort of a risk there because like they could die or they could get stronger, but like I
right.
feel like that's just a band-aid.
I guess, yeah. But it's still something I like in general.
It's
Having
cool,
these
yeah.
like unique avenues to more strength.
Yeah, it's good that there's like different ways for you know, to drive the plot forward to increase the you know, power ceiling.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways,
Uh,
so they're looking for oh yeah, they
they
wait,
stop in a
where the fuck
town
are
that
they?
they stop in a town that doesn't exist in the anime.
Oh yeah, everything happens in Vaizel in the anime, right?
Well,
I
it's not
think,
that
right?
the Vaizel Fighting Festival when it actually starts is like almost exactly the same as in the anime, but the manga has like two or three, like a mini arc of 2 or 3 chapters where we meet Veronica and Griamore early. They're in this town that's like
I thought
I
that
forgot.
happens in the anime. It's just in a different
Nope,
location.
nope.
Okay, I don't know. My memories are so weird,
Well,
like in regards to this.
don't you worry your pretty little face. I just watched the anime too, so I know all.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people?
Well, they're Veronica and
Grimoire,
Griamore. Yeah, that's who they are.
Brungs.
You fuck.
Yeah, yeah. It like while they're in this town and like Elizabeth's on her own walking around, she sees Griamore picking on some old guy, which is it's weird for his characterization because he acts completely different come the actual Vaizel Fighting Festival arc. And
Wait,
like
when
she
does this
steps
happen?
in apparently what you didn't fucking read. He's like he some old guy is like it comes right after they saw some wanted posters and now Elizabeth has one too and some old man is like talking to Grimoire saying like I saw her and like Grimoire's threatening him like this better not be some bullshit and he's like I think he's like choking the guy or maybe he's like holding him by the head and like crushing his skull, one of the others. It was just something that made me think like this doesn't seem like the same guy who is around the next arc, but it is. Maybe it was just kind of like maybe it was just to like get Elizabeth to step out into the open to be like, leave him alone, you fucker, which she does, and that's where Veronica comes in,
For some reason,
and
that's not
yeah,
in like where like the place that I read this. It just that section just wasn't there.
it was like chapter 27 and 28.
Yeah, yeah. And I was looking. I'm like looking at it right now. It's just not there. So what the fuck?
It was it was the whole chapters. It was 3 chapters straight. How'd you miss
No,
it?
no. The like the part where Elizabeth is separated from them and because like in the version that I just read, it's they're walking and then they see the posters and then the chapter ends and then chapter 28 starts and Elizabeth is already like kidnapped.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You read on some weird place.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. What the fuck?
Well, then a giant chicken arrives and it explains that Meliodas is the son of the king of Atlantis,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and you can't say shit about that because you apparently didn't read it.
Yeah, I guess.
Stupid.
Fuck.
Then Then the Goblin King arrives and he challenges them to a duel. He gives Meliodas a duel disc. I think the
Yeah.
eclipse happens. Casca is attacked. After that, I think Bon eats a devil fruit. They catch a bell
What?
sprout. King unlocks his Shinigami powers and his hollow mask. Diane finally awakens her stand, which I believe is called Metallica in the original, but it's called Sir Mix-a-Lot in the dub for some reason. And yeah, then they go through the Gate of Truth and they wind up in real life London, and that's the end of the mini arc.
And how many chapters was this?
This was like 2.5 chapters.
Wow, that was a lot.
A lot happens.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Anyways,
You want to know what actually happens?
I think.
Fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much nothing. It's just there to it's just there to introduce Veronica and Grimoire for the next arc, and then like pretty much set up the conflict Veronica and Elizabeth have in the next arc, which is Veronica saying Meliodas is evil. He's like
I read all that.
A monster. Yeah,
I saw pretty much all the stuff with Veronica and Grimoire.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there so that to introduce Veronica and Grimoire pretty much, and to give Elizabeth the little like goddess amber necklace, which in the anime, since they cut this part out, they just have Veronica have on herself for a while.
I really like the part where Meliodas just like beats the ever living shit out of Grimoire. Like Grimoire's about to pull his sword out, and Meliodas just grabs the end of it so he can't pull it out of the sheath, and it's hilarious.
Honestly, yeah, that's the fact that they point out like their whole exchange happens where Meliodas stops him from pulling his sword and just
it's like in the
punches him in the it just punches him in the throat and takes him down. It happens before like even like a plate can fall off a table. That's pretty cool. And yeah, he saves Elizabeth and he takes her back to the boar's hat, and that's the end of this little mini arc.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was I mean, I liked what it set up. I'll be talking a little bit more like later on about it, but I mean, I don't think it was bad.
Yeah. Since Veronica was just introduced here, tell me your thoughts on her.
Veronica, I guess she's cool. I mean, like,
that's the thing. She's not.
Yeah, like
she feels like a character that the author wanted to be cool and like do stuff with, but never really does. Like she's built up as this like, oh, she likes to sword fight. Oh, she's like she likes to be boyish compared to her sisters, but like I don't think she ever like uses her sword.
Right?
It's weird.
Like she has like this potential like to be a good character, but like no, she doesn't get the screen time. When she is on screen, she doesn't do like cool things or things that are interesting.
Yeah. Cool thing she does is die.
Yeah,
and even then she doesn't.
Yeah, that's the only cool thing.
And even then, it's not really that cool.
Yeah, that's
death isn't cool, kids.
And she's like being like, she's like being used too. Like it's not like she's like completely acting on her own. Like, Dreyfus is like
doing following stuff. Hendrickson's orders.
Or Hendrickson, yeah. I mix them up all the time.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
I am stupid.
But yeah, that's that little mini arc that the anime cut out, and now we cut to a whole chapter that's not has no none of the 7 deadly sins, none of the main characters in it. It's just about some holy knights, new and old. And I'm glad. That's a nice little change of pace, and it shows. I think it shows that the series has done a pretty nice job of building up and fleshing out its supporting cast and its antagonists.
Yeah, like we've spent so much time like just focusing like so like hard on the seven deadly sins. We haven't seen too much of like the knights, but like we get little bits of the knights like here and there throughout the story, and now like they're all kind of coming together in a certain way. Like you see like even if like characters don't have like any lines or anything, like you see like they're there like
Hmm.
Gila, like early on, like you just see Gila in the crowd, and like uh, I don't think you
I
see
think
anyone else, but I don't know.
I think maybe Marmos is in the crowd, but it's too
Honestly, it's kind
crowded
of
for me
hard
to
for me
see.
to distinguish like the armors.
The most important character, Marmos, is absolutely there. He's
Oh
in
yeah, I
our hearts
see.
at all
Yeah, I
times.
see Marmos.
Oh yeah,
There's Marmos. Yeah. Although that's the first time we're seeing them, so it's not like
Mr.
it's a
Marmalade.
huge thing.
Yeah, but yeah, we see Gila, we see Gil Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we get new
We.
characters and
Mm-hmm.
Hauser and Hendrickson and Dreyfus. And at the end of this chapter,
Well,
we
we've seen Dreyfus before, like a little
oh,
bit.
have we?
Yeah, just a little bit though, I think.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, and it's the end of this chapter where we also reintroduced minor bit players of the past, Twigo and Jericho,
Mm-hmm.
and they were there on orders of Hendrickson, and they see that there's a giant dead
It's a
demon,
fucking demon.
and it's not just any demon; it's the demon from Bon and Diane's backstory,
Mm-hmm.
which
It's
is a great
Bon and Elaine.
yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
One of those females, one of them
God
feminoids.
damn.
Dang.
Coming in with the hot like
Hot goss,
yes.
hot language.
Here we go.
They
But
took
yeah.
Lola Bunny's tits away. I am furious.
What the fuck? Oh
Did you
yeah,
not
and
hear about?
then in between is the the Bond the Bandit side story that we talked about last time.
Oh
In
yeah, in the
in between
volume
this
that's right
chapter,
after
yeah.
this. So
Mm-hmm.
you see the demon first, and then you get the
Mm-hmm.
backstory, which is also
Well,
a neat.
in the volume release, but
Yeah,
this chapter, yeah, it's
right.
complicated. It's complicated.
But yeah, but
Anyways,
yeah, I just
yeah,
love the fact that like it's reusing these things. The demon
mm-hmm.
in Bond's
He
backstory
comes
is
back.
it's like an actually important thing. It's not just like this random bringer of doom that just goes away at the end. It's actually like important to the plot, and that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah. So Hendrickson's evil. He's making people drink demon blood to artificially empower them. Gila had some, which is how she became so strong, like King said. And he makes Twigo and Jericho down some. Jericho barfs some up, and like
It's
Hendrickson Hendrickson and Helbram say like, "Oh, I guess only one was compatible." But then
mm-hmm.
we see she was the one that's compatible because
Right?
Twigo, like he seems fine, and then he just like he becomes a giant tumor and explode.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like kind of fakes you out a little bit. It thinks you're like,
Yeah,
oh, Jericho is dying, but nope.
yeah. You know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Buu saga in Dragon Ball when Spopovich is killed by Babidi making him explode.
Explosion. Yeah.
He, I like in the anime, at least in the dub, they have Twigo say like, "I have conclusion. I have gained the power of explosion," and he starts like expanding. He's like, "Wait, no, I'm exploding."
Well, you're not wrong, buddy.
Yeah, at least at least he knew what he was all about at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jericho's back with new powers, and
Super strong.
she's become strong with the demon blob.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty neat. And now we're back with the sins.
Yeah, so like they hear about they hear that there's a sacred treasure that is someone like found one and they're selling it or whatever in this town, Vaizel, which is like a merchant town.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so they go there, hearing the
Only
rumors. What?
only the dudes head out. Elizabeth, Diane has to stay
Oh
back
yeah.
because giants are banned after one went on a drunken rampage, which is actually a giant we know. We find out later. It's not
Mm.
Diane. It's a different one,
Yeah, yeah,
which is kind of funny.
yeah.
But yeah, Diane stays behind, and Elizabeth stays behind too. So Diane's not lonely. So the dudes head out to find the giant war hammer that's apparently around this place, and they
Well, we
find
don't
out
we
that
don't know that it's a war. We don't know which sacred treasure it is. We just hear that it's a sacred treasure
right. Yeah,
until
and
we
they
actually
find
see it.
out yeah, it's a giant war hammer, big enough to like lean up against this giant boulder. So who knows whose weapon that is.
Hmm.
And yeah, they find out it's the prize for a little fighting tournament,
Yeah, so
and that's pretty that's
fighting
pretty cool.
tournament. I love
It's a
tournament
tournament
arcs.
arc.
Yeah, it's really cool actually.
It's neat to have these kind of like tournament arcs. I in my mind they go with stories that have like, oh, the plucky underdog protagonist, the young up and comer, but having these like already super
Hmm.
strong knights who like they've been around the block a few times, having them just participating in this tournament of just mostly just normal strong guys is kind of funny
It
in and
is,
of
yeah.
itself.
And like that's kind of like the difference between like a standard tournament arc because like it's such a small like it's a smaller like tournament arc. Like there's only 8 contestants, once they get down to the actual tournament, and like
Right.
almost all of them are characters that we know, and like
Yeah.
they're all just strong and like don't give a single shit. Like none of the fights are
Yeah.
serious,
They
so
don't they
it's
don't
cool.
they don't dwell on it. They
Yeah.
they don't try to make some like artificial tension out of like, oh, could Meliodas actually lose to fucking Taizu? Like, no, the guys they're just kind of like having fun with it.
I think everybody knew that Taizu was gonna lose.
I don't believe you. I think he could have taken Hauser. I think he
Oh,
could have taken Diane.
wait, are you a part of the Taizu fan club?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm a
Let's
I'm
start
a
it.
I'm a cage I'm a caged animal in the Thai zoo. Don't know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. It's a real shame like that Taizu lost because like everyone
He
else
got
was
jobbed,
cheating by using magic and shit, right? He was just using his
obviously.
bare fists.
Did you
And
see his muscles? How did he
yeah,
lose?
what the fuck? Totally like what the fuck? That was not fair.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Please visit
Taizu
please
is yeah.
please visit my change.org profile to find that make Taizu the winner of the Vaizel Fighting Festival petition.
Mhm. Let's do
Please
that.
sign it. We have 21 signers. If we get to 22, I will send you a
Mm.
chocolate bar with my name knifed into it.
When they create the second anime adaptation, they should make Taizu the main character.
Absolutely.
And he wins the
Yeah.
tournament. And also the later tournament or whatever. I don't know. There's another
Yeah.
tournament at some point.
I remember that. He is in that extra tournament, but he's like they force him to be the ref. It's funny.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. That's great.
that,
But
that
yeah,
is great.
they have a little elimination round, and it's down to 8 competitors, which is Meliodas, King, and Vaughn all get in. Uh, Taizu, obviously. Hauser's there. Um, well, oh yeah, an old man who they met on the way. Random old
Yeah,
man who
just
they
random dude.
none of
He's
none
drunk
of
as
them
shit.
know.
He's
Yeah,
literally drunk out of his mind.
absolutely, yes.
And this
Um,
mysterious lady Matrona.
yes,
Yeah.
mysterious top hattery,
Top
and
top hat.
yeah, and
Hauser?
Griamore, but
Oh, Griamore,
how?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Griamore's there, but like he spent the mini arc wearing only the helmet.
Mm-hmm. So we
So
don't
like
really know.
we don't know. It's like a mystery who he is at first, but then they just kind of like
Just say
get
it.
rid of. Yeah, they just kind of say it. They get rid of the mystery once the lots are called, and like, oh, round 1 is Grimoire versus Diane.
Well,
So
did we
it's
get
just kind of
Grimoire's name in that mini arc?
we did, yeah,
Okay, yeah. So there we go.
yeah. So it's just kind of like a very meh reveal. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know why it was like a secret thing. He also wears really cool pants in this arc. I want those pants.
Yeah. Well, they're pants. That's true.
Hear ye. I want Grimoire's pants. Don't you know?
Um, I fucking love their like fake names.
Oh yeah,
Bond's name is Ba'an, but in the manga that in the version that I read, it was like Bane or something at first, and then halfway through they changed it to Ba'an.
yeah. In the version I read, it was Ba'an and then Meliodas with a Z, and
Oh, in
King
this
is
yeah, old fart.
and yeah, King is just old fart.
In this version, Meliodas is Meliodas with an F.
Ah,
Yeah,
I think that's what the anime says too.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't make a joke about how King is called Old Fart, but he's fighting an old man in the first round. I'm surprised
Well,
they
I
didn't
think
make a joke like, "Oh, which one's Old Fart?"
I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess they didn't technically do that, like because when like their names were announced, King was just like, "Who's old fart?" Like while he was standing right next to the old dude, and
I'm,
then
eh,
yeah,
I'm, I'm just saying. It seemed like an obvious joke
hmm
that I'm surprised didn't actually get made.
I feel like it was just kind of implied,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, first round is Grimoire, big old buff dude versus Matrona, some mysterious, mysterious girl, and everybody's surprised at how well she does because she's girl.
Yep. And here we have
Yeah.
Bulma versus Broly. Um, who
That's about their
wins?
sizes, yeah.
Yeah, basically. I wonder who
Uh,
wins. It's Bulma. Bulma won.
yeah. And the hat flew off. Oh, it's Diane.
Oh,
How?
what a twist. I mean, it's
How?
not like it was. It's not like anybody would actually think it was actually Elizabeth, right? She just secretly gets like the super
Super
combat
strong.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly.
All of a sudden, she's really confident, and also
Yeah.
her boobs are smaller and butt is bigger.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
because that was had to be pointed out.
Important. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Mm-hmm.
important. Yeah, so that her fight is pretty quick, and Wall is kind of a Grimoire's wall power is it's pretty bland, but it's nice that he says that it's tied into his personality and desires. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to protect.
Protect. Yeah, that's
He,
cool.
he's a nice enough dude,
It's just
except when
like,
he's not.
why is it called wall and not ball? It takes the form of a ball.
Take my ball.
Yeah. What? What if he had two balls?
So what if
One on
he
the inside
took
of the
two?
other.
What if he had two balls and he put them over his chest and he's like, "Look at me! I am the man who has big boobies." Uh,
I'm sure he could do
uh,
that.
uh. Do you like my fake laugh?
That was a laugh. I thought you were dying.
Obviously, I am slowly.
God damn
Yeah.
it. It's so cringe.
Oh, we forgot to mention the most important character after Taizu.
The
Love
helmet
Helm.
guy. Oh yeah, I love Helm. Yeah, yep.
I
Very
like that
cool.
little I like that little referee dude, and I like that nobody really comments on what the fuck that is. He's just kind of like a thing that's part of the world, and that
Yeah.
makes the that makes the true reveal about Love Helm that much more kind of neat.
Well, I mean, there is a talking pig, and everybody
Yeah,
is like, "What? It's a talking pig? Okay, whatever. I guess that's normal."
yeah,
Also, Love Helm is so much funnier in the anime.
yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't come across right in the manga.
It's the voice. You gotta
Yeah,
have that like. Ah!
yeah,
It's very fun. I
yeah. I
like, and
can't believe it.
it's a nice little design. I like it.
It very comical, much funny,
Much love, such helm.
very hilarious. Anyways, we learn what's up with Diane.
What happened to Diane?
Oh my god! It turns out there's just a freaking
Mushroom.
mushroom that can make people smaller. The thing is, like, why does like why
Why
is
does
this
this
like
exist?
no like it's cool that it exists, like it's a pretty cool thing, but like
I like
why
that
did
it's given
Diane
so
not
much
know about
detail.
it? Like why is like only King know about this mushroom when like it
Uh,
could be like so useful for giants? Like
it's from the way King talks about it, and I like that King gives us a quick rundown on what the fuck it
hmm
is.
well,
But like from the sound of it, it sounds like it's pretty rare.
I guess.
You know?
But I mean,
Yeah,
later
it's
on, like Merlin figures out another way to do it, but
right.
still,
Yeah,
you would think it would be like more like more people would know about,
important
like at least hear about like the legend or whatever, because
maybe.
like
Yeah, it's
giants would
it's
like really want that kind of thing,
yeah. I
just for
guess
convenience.
I it's just an excuse for fan service. Honestly, it's an
Yeah.
excuse to have Diane in the tournament. It's an excuse to have like Elizabeth jammed between Diane's bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excuse to put Diane in consistently shrinking clothes. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
but
yeah.
it is nice to see Diane so like happy. She like the she her whole like thing is like I wish I was small and normal, and now
Mm-hmm.
she is, and like I'm glad the author like remembered that and has her reacting like how you'd think. She's super excited to have this sort of experience. It's nice.
Yeah,
uh,
and
but that's
she like
yeah, but that
she
also is an excuse for fan service where she's
mm-hmm.
like, Captain, come on, grope at me.
Yeah, basically she just wants him to grope her.
As
That's
all
that's hilarious.
women's do, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what's
And then yeah.
stupid?
What?
The fucking she's asking why doesn't Meliodas do it to her when he does it to Elizabeth all the time, and he's like, because you're too important to me. And Elizabeth actually gets sad about this, and it's like this is not the topic to try and like make serious. This isn't
Yeah, I'm well, it kind of goes more into like remember last time we were talking about how like Meliodas like he's clear about like how he feels about Diane and like that he doesn't see her that way. And
right.
he kind of like uh explains that he just can't like do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just really weird when Elizabeth is just like standing like right there, in between the boobies.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like Elizabeth has like a reaction shot when like after Meliodas says Diane's like too important of a comrade to him for him to do something like that, and she has this like disappointed look, like, oh, does he not like think of me as important? And like, but
Well,
the impetus for this being talking about gropage is just weird. It's not. This isn't the time and place. This isn't the circumstance for something like that. It's just weird. You get me?
mm, I guess. I mean, I don't feel like he was saying that Elizabeth wasn't important.
I know, I know, but like from her reaction, it seemed like that's how Elizabeth was taking it, and like it was like trying to set up like, oh,
I guess, yeah.
like there's some sort of miscommunication, but like the circumstances are wrong for something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird, like all this stuff happening in the middle of a tournament and stuff.
Yeah, but now we can get back to a topic we definitely agree on: Taizu,
Yeah, Taizu versus Hauser. Oh my god!
the best fight.
And gets one shot.
Yeah, kind of. Well, not really.
Yeah.
Actually, he
Well,
took a
yeah.
pound.
Yeah, but once
How's
Hauser actually used his powers in one shot.
was a nice little himbo. Yeah, he actually was. He actually bought that Meliadas's and Bond's aliases meant that they weren't actually them. He's a nice little himbo guy.
Mm-hmm. Hauser looks kind of like Android 13.
And, yeah.
Or it was it Android 13? I don't know. One of them.
The trucker hat one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
13. Not really.
Okay.
It looks like I don't know what he looks like.
I'll just go.
It looks
die in a
weird.
hole.
Yeah, do that. Go do that, and I'll stand here and continue with the Taizu talk hour.
Okay. Yeah, Taizu. He lost. Oh, fuck.
You know what's weird? I had this thought: is this guy's like an obvious jobber that's like just there to kind of fill a slot in the tournament? Why not like stick Veronica in the tournament if you wanted her to like seem cool and tough? Like, you obviously had a slot in the tournament.
Mike, that's illegal.
Oh, that's right. She's a woman.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And she's also a human, so that's why Diane could be in it, because she's a giant and she's not human.
Ah.
Yeah.
Obviously. No, but you get what I'm saying though, right?
Yes.
If you wanted Veronica to be cool and like
to be honest,
tough, right here.
More the direction I was going in. I was kind of saying like, you can't make the story better like that. What are you talking about? This story sucks.
I see what you're saying. You maverick.
Yes,
you
I
little
am the meme man.
Nice.
But yeah, Veronica is useless.
Yeah. What's the next fight again? King versus Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really kind of funny that King is so weak without his staff. I love that.
It's like built up like he's like apparently King is actually amazing. And he's just it's amazing how weak he is.
Yeah. I saw him fight a cat without his staff when it tried to steal his food. He lost.
he got
That's really
beat by a
fun.
cat. Yeah.
And he gets beaten by Kane after he tries to use a little bit of magic on him, and Kane just like pushes him out. And King's like, "Why is he being so mean? All I did was try to use my magic to up his rheumatism a bit and maybe kill him a bit."
Kill him? Oh God.
Nah, he doesn't try to kill him.
No. King is.
I just wanted to squeeze the ventricles of his heart just a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
I thought maybe if I twisted his lungs a little bit until they snapped clean in two, maybe he'd give up.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would work on anybody else. So I don't know how the fuck King actually loses in fights to people. Like regular people.
Yeah,
How is he so weak when he can just do that? It's like his innate power. Wait, what?
What's his power again?
Disaster, where he can.
What does Disaster do?
So basically, he can like change. He can take like the physical attributes of like a living being and like amplify them or nullify them or whatever.
Huh.
So he can so if somebody, because this guy had rheumatism, he just enhanced it. Or he can like change the weight of someone or something like that. He could do a lot, like there's like a lot of shit he could do. But it's weird.
But yeah, he fucking loses.
Yes. He loses.
And we're on to we go into Bond versus Meliodas,
You mean
and you can,
Meliodas versus Baan?
of
Yep.
course, obviously, and you can really tell that the mangaka is looking forward to this. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great fight. It's a great choreography. It's fun. It's really fun. The flashback to the meeting is nice, and
Hmm.
yeah,
We
I
kind of
love
got like
how.
teased on this like back when like Bond first showed up. Like we
Oh
learned
yeah.
up, when they first reunited and they like just started beating the ever living shit out of each other. And then we
Mm,
also got the flashback of Meliodas like giving
busting them
Bond that
out.
scar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is a really fun and cool fight. A lot of really cool moments in it. Like, I love the expansion of Bond's snatch power to this new power of physical hunt,
Mm-hmm.
able to steal like physical abilities too. Like, oh, he's stealing, he's sapping Meliodas's speed. Now he's sapping his physical strength. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like all of like their like all of the Sin's innate abilities are like really OP and like they're
Mm.
rarely used to their full potential. Like it could be a lot cooler. But like I mean like it's done right. Like it's cool.
Mm.
Like we get like a new application of it
Yeah,
and there's consequences too, so it's cool.
yeah, I like it. And yeah, Bond using physical hunt seems close to winning, but at the end, Meliodas wins, and the King and Diane saw what nobody else saw in the dust and the speed. He had his mark returns, and that's pretty hyped to see it again. Mostly because we made like finally we can learn what the fuck it is after it being ignored for a while after being first
Hmm.
shown. And do we? No,
Not yet.
not really.
We'll learn
No,
a little bit more soon.
perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah. I like the
Yes.
part where they're like where the fight starts and Meliodas is about to knock Bon out and he just like flips Meliodas over and like they keep like doing
They
this over
flip.
and over again and flipping each other over.
Oh yeah, I really love the shot of like right after that of Bond jumping up and doing that like punch rush on Meliodas.
Hmm.
I feel like that's kind of like I feel like that's kind of like an iconic shot because like they reused it in the first ending. That
Hmm.
little punch rush of Bond's. It's fun.
Yeah. It's cool.
Uh, what's
Yeah, so like
what's next?
we we feel like Meliodas is like gonna lose because obviously Bond's using the hunter snatch or whatever, where he's taking Meliodas' strength. So Bond is like very clearly going to win, and like we're given it's really like sold to us that like Meliodas has no shot until like the demon power comes back, and it's like what the
Hmm.
fuck. Also,
What did
with the demon power, remember last time we were talking about how when Meliodas like healed after like almost dying from Gill Thunder, and like
Yeah,
we weren't sure like whether it was like the demon power that healed him or if it was Elizabeth. I mean,
yeah.
like it's we see here that the demon power does like have some sort of restorative capabilities because he went from zero stamina, zero physical ability, back up to full just by
Well,
getting the
yeah.
mark.
Well, I don't think it necessarily restored like his lost power. I think he was just like he kept the demon power behind a wall usually, and right there, like he released it, which is why he got the mark, and he used that demon power to pick himself
Yeah,
up
but
and send Bond flying.
immediately afterward, he was like completely
He's
like
totally fine. Well,
totally fine and like
that's because he said that's because he beat Bond. Once Bond was
oh, I
defeated,
guess. Well, does it
it
return the power? I
yeah,
don't
he
know if
says he's that's what he says. Like once I beat Bond, my power came back. That's what he says.
oh, I didn't. I guess I missed that. Okay.
Missed it. You keep missing. You miss and you miss. What's the next fight?
The
Bowser versus Mauser. Makona. Mashona versus Hishona and Halber.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Hauser doesn't want to punch a girl.
He doesn't want to see
He
her bubbles.
He loses because of it.
I really like the shot of him like going for like the final uppercut on Diane, and she just completely stops it. Like literally no sells it completely. And he's like, I thought you said if you took that head on, there'd be nothing left in. And she's like, I meant my clothes. I'm borrowing them, and you already ruined them, so whatever. And
Basically.
she really just destroys him. Honestly, it's not. It's I like Hauser enough, and like he's fairly strong, but like it really is not even close.
I feel
She
like
nearly
Hauser
splits him
is
in
like
two.
built up to be like one of the strongest like holy knights, but like
I think he is.
he's
Yeah,
not.
I think he is one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't know. Like it seems like all of the new generations seem to be stronger than him, I think. And Gil Thunder is probably stronger than him. I don't know.
Hmm.
What's the guy we see later? Slater or something?
Slater, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's definitely stronger than him. I feel
I
like.
think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like weird.
Eh.
I don't know. Um,
They, oh yeah, Diane pulls out a new move, heavy metal. She turns her body to metal.
oh yeah, because she has creation, which allows her to use earth type magic stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm pretty sure she should have turned his like pelvis into dust with that move, but you know, anime.
Mm-hmm.
Hauser definitely wants Diane to turn his pelvis to dust, but in another way, if you know what I'm saying.
Um, I think I know what you are saying. Yes.
Give
Yeah,
us some boobles.
we got a
Uh,
side story.
oh
We
yeah, the
get
side story
Gila's
happens.
backstory. Well, no,
It's
not
like
kind of.
it's like 9 pages.
Actually, it's not even her backstory. It's just like she's she goes
It just
home to
shows
see
her.
her brother and she's like yeah, hopefully I don't die.
Kinda, yeah.
And she kills people because she's
Yeah,
ruthless.
it's a nice little it's a nice little mini chapter. It's some setup for later and like some fleshing out of a character who, you know, may not have gotten that kind of fleshing out in a main chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fast, but you know, no big deal. It was overall pretty nice.
Also, this is the first time we see new Jericho.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, very cool.
Uh, no, because we saw the
Oh
two of
yeah.
them heading to Vaizel at the end of the previous chapter
Yeah, you're right.
on
Fuck.
flying stingrays, which are pretty. Those are fun. I like
Yeah,
those.
what's up with that? Huh?
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 Huh? Why don't they use these more? I want to see more of these funny boys.
Yeah, they're what if they use them to fly?
What if they use them to die?
Yeah, probably. Anyways, it
Oh yeah,
fucking
Meliodas versus Kane.
Meliodas versus Kane. Kane wins. Spoiler alert.
Obviously, Kane is the true Dragon Sid of Wrath.
Yes. He Meliodas actually usurped his power the whole time. That's why
Hmm.
everybody's confused about why Meliodas is like a kid because he's
It's
supposed to
like
be old.
it's like in the final episode of Camp Lazlo where we learn Scoutmaster Lumpus isn't actually the Scoutmaster. He was just pretending.
Wait, was that is that real? I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and the actual Scoutmaster was Heifer from Rocco's Modern Life.
that's great. Um, I I don't know. That was cool. Anyways, Hauser fucking figures out that you know, Diane is
But
Diane
Oh
as we
yeah,
know.
that's a thing.
He's like, "What is this?"
Huh?
Huh? Anyways,
Nani?
uh,
What?
it turns out Kane is a knight dude.
He's from Danafor, which we know already from an earlier chapter, is a kingdom that used to be as about as powerful as Leonis, but was
And
wiped off the map by Meliodas.
yes,
That's
we've
where he
learned
got his
this.
sin of wrath.
Uh, presumably.
Yes. And apparent none of the sins know this because apparently the sins have a
They
bunch
have
of special
rules.
rules between them, including not asking each other about the past related to their
Yeah.
sins.
Rule number two is
Do not talk about Fight Club.
uh what's rule number three?
I think
Hmm.
that's this one.
Oh, well then rule number one is always shit where you sleep. Uh
Always shit where somebody else sleeps.
yeah.
That's why King hates Bond so much.
Never sleep where you shit, but always make sure to shit where you sleep. Okay?
Yeah,
That's how it works.
that's
Uh
rule number one of the seven deadly sins. The
best
rule,
rule.
this rule, it's a rule that makes sense, but like I kind of wish we knew that this sort of rule set was a thing beforehand. And I also get the feeling it's not ever going to come up again. None of these rules.
I think that's like highly likely, but I would very much like it if it did come up. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
at least it makes sense why how like in the past King didn't know what Bond did. Like
Uh,
that was stuff that I kind of wondered
yeah.
about. Like how does King not know?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not
So
really
yeah,
supposed to ask.
confronted with a man from past, Meliodas just kind of takes some of these hits
Yeah,
because like out of penance. But
he's gotta.
on the last one, he makes a big speech about like how he's got he's got shit to do, so he can't get bogged down by it or something or other.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
he
cool.
uses a new move called Counter Vanish, which oddly enough feels way more broken than a regular full counter. You know what I mean? He just like
Not.
he's able to just get rid of any attack, just get rid of it, any attack that's coming at him.
I guess it would technically be harder to pull off, I feel like. But like I don't think it's like objectively better. It's just like like uh what am I trying to say? It's like a situational kind of thing.
I guess that's also why I feel like we're never gonna see it used again.
Probably.
Yeah. So Kane's okay here in that Meliodas didn't actually want to destroy Danafor, and he gives up, and then he leaves the Ark for good.
Yep, never comes back
He,
ever again.
he
Never.
well, it's not that he doesn't come back ever again, but he just kind of disappears from the Ark after fulfilling his role about revealing more of Meliodas's past and furthering Meliodas's development.
Yeah.
In the manga, he doesn't even like appear helping people out when the Vaizel is attacked.
Yeah, they just kind of like say it happened.
Yeah, in the anime, it at least shows him and Hauser and even Taizu helping to evacuate the
Mm-hmm.
citizens, but
We
the
only
manga just kind of glasses over that.
Yeah. We kind of it's just like Bond does it all. And not Bond,
Hmm.
King does it all. And like
Yeah.
it happens like in the space of like two panels or whatever, and it's just like, what?
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah. So yeah, now we move on to the final round, which is Meliodas versus Diane, and
The
they're
best
just
fight.
planning on it to be friendly little like back and forth perhaps, but Bond thinks that's boring, so he steals all the money Hawk made selling drinks, and he pays some girls to like pretend like they are flirting with Meliodas and that he was like hanging out with them so that make Diane jealous.
Yeah, just
Purely
hanging
just
out.
to purely just to entertain himself, which is very fun.
Bond is
It's
the
very in
best.
character.
Bond is amazing.
Yeah, this is actually a really funny little bit.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I
it's
should
good.
mention that Diane had been steadily growing. In the anime, her and Elizabeth turned back to regular size just all at once, but Diane is just kind of like
Hmm.
slowly turning back to normal, pretty much
Well,
just for fan service's sake.
we even see. Well, it also mentions how Elizabeth gets a little bit bigger too at one point. Or multiple points, I guess. I guess they couldn't put that in the anime. Probably.
I guess
Maybe
so.
maybe it was a
Yeah,
little
maybe it was.
too raunchy, I guess.
Yeah, maybe a little too risque.
Yeah. She just like
Uh,
progressively loses more and more clothing, and it's just why, why?
yeah,
Uh,
but and yeah, they stop fighting in the middle for seemingly no reason. King and Bond go up and they say like they make a big Meliodas makes a big thing that I'm Meliodas, captain of the seven deadly sins. We're taking over this town. Get the fuck out of here.
hmm.
And Elizabeth's like, what the fuck's gone into them? But it turns out the Holy Knights were coming to attack, and I guess Meliodas and Diane like sensed them coming or something, and that's why they pulled this off. They pulled this little trickery of sorts.
They had to do it to save all the people. The
It
people.
it kind of this little bit falls flat for me. We're not actually like
Yeah.
we know they're not actually like that, so it's not convincing any readers, but we also don't get any confirmation that they still are felt enemies coming until like
Yeah.
it we don't really get any panels of them like like reacting to anything, so it just kind of
Actually,
comes out
we
of nowhere.
do. I thought we didn't, but apparently I'm looking it over. There actually is a panel where Meliodas and Diane like they like they don't they get like the shocked thing over their heads and like it says perk for some reason.
Mm.
And then the same thing happens with Bon and King. I didn't notice this the first time through, but apparently that did happen. It's still
Well,
kind of weird.
it's a bit too subtle, plus it doesn't last because
Yeah.
it like lasts like maybe 2 or 3 pages
Hmm.
total.
Maybe
Yeah.
if like if we saw a panel of again of Gila and Jericho on their way on the fucking flying things, manta rays
Mhm.
or whatever.
Flying flappos,
Yes, those boys, the flappy boys.
flappabees.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely make a lot more sense. Like you
Mm.
said here, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's kind of hard to like um piece together what exactly the fuck is going on because clearly they're not serious.
Yeah,
Like,
we know them too well to be serious.
yeah, it's just really weird.
Yeah.
And we also
So
get this panel of Hauser being like, "What is going on? Why are they so different from how they were earlier?" Because like even he's picked up on like the fact that they're probably not as bad as as their reputation,
right.
but here it kind of like puts that into question again, I guess.
Mm. Yep. And then the town gets attacked. Gila kills probably a lot of people.
Fucking giant explosive
Meteors.
fireballs, meteor things come down. And like
Yes.
I think we're led to believe that like nobody dies or anything, but like
They don't
how?
really ju- they don't really just mention that. They kind of end the
Yeah,
arc without even mentioning like anything about the town or the
right?
people.
Like literally the entire town was literally decimated.
Yeah. Where did they go? Aside from, the
Like
afterlife.
I mean people like were already like trying to escape like to a certain degree, but like that's a lot of fucking fireballs.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where'd they all go? I also saved like one old guy, but I don't
I guess we're just
know.
meant to like not care
I
or
guess.
something.
Maybe the author just wanted the arc to end.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, yeah. So the tournament ends, and we're into some uh, more like what
It
we've
it,
seen type
it
of
kind of
fighting.
like it goes like the tournament gets like all interrupted and stuff. It's like the Chunin exams where it gets interrupted by this massive battle that all of a sudden breaks out.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah. Uh, um,
Uh,
Meliodas and Gil are fighting. Gil's got a new weapon that Meliodas says is like sacred treasure class, so she's upped her power in that way too.
And she's also got new armor, which is cool.
Yes,
Which
and
we saw the armor in the that bonus chapter thing.
yep, and Jericho takes on Bon. She's got a new look
Yeah,
too.
she's gonna give him
She
a
was
second haircut.
she was apparently pretending to be a man in
Yeah,
Boss.
that was weird.
I just assumed
She,
she was just wearing practical armor and clothes.
except for the corset, which like kind of was a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
So like, I
weird.
just, I don't know if that's if they were trying to say that she was cross dressing back then, or if she's cross dressing right now. But
She's definitely
whatever
not
way you,
cross-dressing right now. She's got that
yeah,
power girl titty window. She's got the ass
yeah,
cape.
like what I'm saying is like whatever way you slice it, she is clearly a woman in well presenting in both cases.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, her whole speech about women and men would come off as sexist if it wasn't for Gila also being here and like nothing about Gila's never questioned like her strength is never questioned for being female. So yeah, I you get the impression that this is just Jericho's problem and nobody's actually being this way that we've seen so far. Plus, we learn like why she's like this later, and it turns out it's like due to her brother,
Mm-hmm.
a brother that definitely exists.
Totally. Is there? Be cool if we got like a little side story like with Gila, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been cool.
Like
We'll have
Gila gets a lot of like tie-ins, like especially in this portion of the story.
yeah, she's pretty prominent.
Mm-hmm. But Jericho's just like kind of there, I guess. She's
Yeah,
cool. I like her though.
yeah, she's pretty. The fact that she's able to like halt Bond's regenerative abilities somehow immediately puts her on like a is this are we serious? Are you like it makes her seem
Yeah.
cooler, I
It
guess.
does. It kind of like because you think like she got her ass like literally handed to her last time. Like
Yes.
she stood literally no chance, and now like she's putting like she beats Spawn. She just wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Uh, those aren't the only ones that came though. We also got Marmos.
Marmos,
Hey,
Mister
hey,
Centipede or whatever, Roly Poly. That was it.
yeah, he's like
That
a
was
little
this
pill bug.
or
And
her. I don't know.
one, once again, he's a minor character, but he's got one of my favorite armor designs. I love
Interesting. Yeah.
the I love the weird pill bug look, and I love how he's got like a face hole in his thing, but all you can see in it is just darkness and two like little lights of eyes.
And
I
also a
like it.
massive dick.
Oh yeah, it's just hanging out at the bottom of his pill bug armor, just
He
flopping between his legs.
well he's got what the fuck is it called? The
Maracas,
yes, he has maracas. Yes, I was
and he's
gonna
got
say
gravity powers.
the fucking a cod piece. That's it. He's got a massive
Oh,
cod piece.
and he's got a massive cock too.
Well, clearly,
Yeah.
what would be filling it?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
snacks.
yeah, he keeps snacks in his cod piece.
I believe it.
Yeah, probably. Uh,
Oh yeah. This is when after Bon and Meliodas are defeated, uh, Hawk pulls them out of there and saves them, and Elizabeth and stuff, and they hide. And Elizabeth turns back to normal right when Veronica and Griamore find her. Ha 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 ha
What a
naked. Ha 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 ha
coincidence.
ha ha.
She gets big and naked, and the guys are like, "Oh God, she's naked,"
Oh my
and
god.
yeah,
Booby.
and then
Also, I'd like to point out that in the anime, this is the first time these two have seen each other in like months, and this has been their first interaction in the story.
in the anime,
And
yeah,
like, yeah, and it ends like it goes on for like 2 minutes, and then she dies. Veronica.
basically, yeah. Um, not great, I'd say.
Yeah, we haven't. Well, first of all, Meliodas gets pulled into the goddess Amber, which like pretty much confirms he's some sort of like demon or
Demon, yeah,
monster.
because Hendrickson explains like that the goddess Amber is meant to seal demons or demonic auras or whatever.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to like pull in like effect at all as
And
Elizabeth or
yeah,
Hawk or Veronica or
nobody but
Greymoor.
Meliodas.
Pretty much, yeah. So, but like any actual questioning of that or any direct conversation is still a long while off. We got a hypothetical from Helbram that he's might be like the first human to harness the demon's blood power, but that turns out to be wrong. So, what's the point of that little like hypothetical they pose later? Is it to like get us to not ask questions for the time? Like, why don't the other characters that
I
see
think it
him
was
get pulled
fine.
into the amber ask about this? Yeah.
Well, that that's like it was addressed there because like Veronica was like that proves it. He's a monster, and Elizabeth is like like trying to like reject that. Like even though she well she still doesn't understand, I guess, like that the goddess Amber like what it is and what it specifically does. But like she's still
Mhm.
trying to reject the idea that Meliodas is a monster because
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is that like once the arc is done, nobody's going up to Meliodas and being like, "What the fuck are you?" Which I feel like somebody should. Hawk should. Elizabeth should. Uh, King. I don't know. It
seven
feels like
deadly
we're
sins rules. Rule
uh,
number 7: don't ask about demons at all.
that. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's one of the rules. I know
Maybe.
that like I know that at the end of this arc, like Bon and King kind of talk about that, and they obviously don't want to ask about it because like Bon's afraid of Meliodas being the same thing, kind of thing that killed Elaine. But like everybody else seems just perfectly content with going along, even though they now have some sort of confirmation that
Mm-hmm.
Meliodas is not human.
Well, yeah, yeah, and then even later on, we get Gother. Gother's like everybody's of a different race or whatever.
That too, yeah. I was thinking like that's that sort of line is like raises so many questions, but nobody in the story is thinking about asking any.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the same time, King is fighting Jericho and Gila, and since he's the one with the sacred treasure, he's still got. He's dealing with them pretty handily. But then he gets he like his biggest attack gets interrupted. His chastful gets temporarily broke. It turns out it's the greatest character, Love Helm. He did it,
Oh my god!
and that's a fun twist. I
What a
like
twist!
I like the twist that Love Helm is actually Helbram, and based on King's reaction, those two know each other. They have a
Apparently,
past, him
yeah.
and Helbram.
Apparently, Helbram, who just showed up just now.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a it's I like the foreshadowing between them. Plus, he's got like we can make some inferences about what could Helbram be based on his various powers and floating like calls to mind King's varied abilities and floating too. And he calls King Your Highness.
Mm-hmm.
So like we might think, oh, what's his connection to fairies? He doesn't look like one, but we've only seen two fairies, so maybe he does.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that his that backstory was like in this arc, and yeah, it's like later on in the Kingdom Infiltration arc, but I thought it was
Mm,
here, and I was
ah,
wrong. I misremembered.
yes. Yes, so you keep missing. You keep
Yeah.
missing, boy.
Anyways,
Dang it.
uh, fucking. Oh yeah, we
I,
got. I feel we kind of like just completely skipped over. Well, we didn't really completely skip over this. The part where Diane goes to get her sacred treasure and it's just gone, and then
oh yeah.
Hauser shows up.
And
Um,
Marma shows up, obviously, the
mm-hmm.
hero.
Marmus, the big cock man.
Marmus, who eating snack from his cock piece.
Yes. Anyways, Hauser's all like you know, he uh he's learned that Diane's one of the seven deadly sins and everything. And like
Yeah.
he's confused at this point about uh like are they really evil or not? And like he's
He's
trying to
questioning
confront
things,
her
yeah.
about this, and then Marmus just shows up out of nowhere and just fucking like uh uses gravity shit on her. And like
Yes.
she's trying to save this old dude, and Hauser's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
She wasn't resisting and there was a civilian caught in the attack. Like, and Marmus is like, we're at war, bro.
Yeah.
So,
So it's
so it's
like,
like, it's showing us that Hauser has like a conscience.
yeah, he's like, he has the potential to be a good guy.
He has a heart.
He's,
Nice.
it's very
At the same
cool.
time, after Deanne gets thrown into the pits of the earth, Hawk's mom shows up and spits out her
Clothes. Well,
clothes.
this is later. Well, we see
Nah,
it
that
later.
happens
I don't
here.
know. Okay.
Yeah, and because Elizabeth is just now turning back to normal, we're thinking like, oh, Diane must be coming back to normal too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she has no clothes, so she can't do anything until the clothes are given to her.
Yes,
Well, I guess she could, but
I wouldn't put it above this series
I
to
would not.
make
But
Diane fight naked.
it's also in a shonen magazine, so
Yeah,
there's
that's
only
true.
so much. Only so much.
Only so,
Thankfully. Thankfully.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, back to Elizabeth and Veronica. Gila and Jericho are like messing with them. Griamore seems to be like kind of like more closer to Hauser on the whole like per, goodness scale.
Yeah.
Like he's not a dick.
Like he has
He's not,
conscience, maybe.
yeah. And Elizabeth runs off, but it turns out Gila set like a landmine of some sort, which trips when she and Veronica run over it, and Veronica protects Elizabeth and dies, quote unquote, tragically.
Yes, she dies in quotes,
We
I
have,
guess.
yeah, we have not had enough time with this character to be affected by it.
Yeah, basically. I definitely agree. I mean, it's like
And
more in the manga than in the anime, but like still like she could have
still
got a
not a
lot more
lot.
focus. She could have
We could have had
done
more time with
stuff.
Elizabeth and Veronica actually like getting along because the
Yeah,
entire time they've been like fighting.
we
All we
could have
know about their
gotten one more
all the
than
positives about the relationship have been
Mhm.
through like Elizabeth just saying like, "Oh, we used to play."
Yeah, we could have gotten more than one flashback.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so quote unquote sad, and Elizabeth cries out, and Meliodas busts out of the goddess amber somehow. And when he does, he's covered in these sick, cool black
Super strong.
markings. So strong. And he's also like completely mute and blank faced.
He's like a kid in like he has like the wonder on in his eyes or whatever. I don't know. I always
He's like a
got that
kid in
impression.
King Arthur's court.
Yes,
I I
definitely.
I like this transformation because it's like with how blank faced he is and how silent he is, it's actually like legitimately eerie, I think. Especially with the reactions people have. Like Bond is actually
Mm-hmm.
scared of how Meliodas is like acting. Like he's apparently seen this before, and he's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go right the fuck now."
Yeah.
Which it really sells it, I think.
He also literally cuts off Gila's hand, and
Oh
then
yeah,
we see these bead things that you were talking about, and she just
yeah, the spell
heals
beads.
her. She just heals her hand back.
Well, yeah, yeah.
What?
Like I said before, the spell beads are just like for narrative convenience. Oh, I want Meliodas to rip off Gila's hand trying to get the sword back, but I also want Gila to have a hand later, so spell bead healing,
Yeah, because
pretty
Gila
much.
was actually a victim all along, so she can't actually suffer any consequences.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's how it's go. Oh yeah, so King has gotten his ass kicked by Helbram, so Meliodas in his new black aura form takes over, and we learn about Helbram's magic, which is Link, and I
Yeah,
really like it.
he gets to take magic power from the many peoples
Yeah,
and get
it
very strong.
gives it's a very fun and versatile power, and that gives him a lot of like options. So we see him doing a lot of crazy shit with it, you know.
He can do different kinds of things and very strong, very strong, very strong, very strong.
Very strong.
In
He
any
has a
case,
pretty cool fight with Meliodas.
Melodas, yes. M-
Fuck.
Meliodas. Anyways, he's super strong because he's a demon guy, I guess.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool fight, and it ends with Hendrickson giving Helbram some power through Link, and it allows him to one shot Meliodas, which gives us a pretty good idea of how strong Hendrickson is. Really builds him up, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah, and so we kind of get Helbram, he's talking about how Meliodas, like, he was kind of wrong. It's not that Meliodas was like,
Weak.
well, no, it's not like he's like one of the new generation or whatever, where he just drunk
Oh
the
yeah.
blood of a demon or anything. Like, he is a demon on some level. Like,
Well, he says like you're one of the first. You have had demon blood mixed into you since birth, which
yeah.
is incorrect.
Well, I
Because
don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, either way, there's no way Helbram would actually know. So it's
yeah,
kind of like this is just like what he thinks is the case.
yeah.
So I guess it doesn't have to be like entirely accurate. In any
Mm.
case, so I want to talk about Meliodas and how he's like kind of been built up throughout this entire arc. Like this is
Go
really
for
like
it.
the one thing that I kind of noticed about this arc is that like from like the beginning of the arc we saw when Veronica first showed up in the manga, um she's talking about how Meliodas is like
A
evil,
demon.
like he's been tricking Elizabeth this whole time. And like
Right.
we obviously know that's not the case, but like at the same time there's still like there's kind of like something going on with Meliodas that we don't understand yet. Like up
Right.
to this point, like in all the previous arcs with all the other sins, like we already know like what their deal is for the most part. We kind of know like what their motivations are, and like we realize that like they are like good at heart, and like they're not really hiding anything, at least not from the audience. Like we know that what the deal is. But with
Right.
Meliodas, he's still hiding this thing. Like he like we've seen in the past, he has this kind of weird like secret power that nobody knows about, that's kind of like seems kind of evil in a way.
Yeah.
And like
We
yeah.
get the little bit of like Dreyfus tells them that Danafor was destroyed by Meliodas,
Mhm.
which is like you're thinking like, could he have done that? Is that something he would
Mhm.
do?
And even
Right.
like with the rules of the seven deadly sins, like who established those rules? It was obviously Meliodas because he was the captain. Why would he write a rule about not questioning other sins if he had nothing to hide, right?
Right.
So he's clearly like there's something going on in the background. So like we're kind of like meant to like kind of question that like throughout the entire arc. It like keeps coming up over and over again. Like um we see more and more of like more of Meliodas' like backstory and more of things that went on in his past, and like we get little inklings of his demonic powers throughout the arc until it kind of comes to a head here.
Hmm.
I don't know. I definitely had like I feel like there was more I had to say about this, but I can't remember it. So, well,
I kind of get what you're saying. We're getting the build up that like, oh, something's up with him, and that like something is revealed here with his like
mhm,
crazy demonic form. But at the end, we see like, oh, it's still him. He's still the same old Meliodas,
mhm,
and like he used this power because he wanted to protect Elizabeth.
mhm. Like we're kind of like we're kind of meant to think like, is Veronica right? Like, has Meliodas been tricking everyone this whole time? Maybe, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's
That's
good.
kind of like the one thing that I noticed as like a big like connecting thread throughout the entire arc.
Yeah, and it even plays it like even the like when he's pretending to take over Vaizel with the seven deadly sins, he's like
Oh
playing
yeah,
into that.
yeah. That's like another like part of it where it's like maybe like because
Like
it looks very like even though like we've like known Meliodas for a while, like it still seems like kind of like he's really into it.
mm,
I don't know. I feel like for him specifically, it definitely felt like that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of his power up. He gets beat out of that with a Hendrickson power infused Hulbrum, and it looks like they're all done. But it's Diane. She returns,
Yeah,
and
it's
she has
so
Gideon.
she has Gideon and she like is incredibly powerful.
I love
It's so
like
cool.
her throwdown here.
Mm-hmm.
She just destroys Helbram. It's not even like close.
Mm-hmm.
And even Hendrickson realizes how fucked they are now that she has Gideon. Like Helbram tries to fight back, but Hendrickson is over Link is just like, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, get out of there right now.
Yeah. It's
I love the panel at the end where she's just standing on top of the boulder and the boulder is so big, but she's so small and it's like, what?
I love her giant like earth attack where she just makes this giant heap and drops it. It's
Mm-hmm.
freaking awesome.
It's insane.
Honestly, yeah.
The only
It's real.
thing is, I feel like we're meant to believe that this is the boulder that they were fighting on, except that it's way bigger than
Nah,
it should be. So I don't
I don't,
think it is.
it's not. No.
Yeah, it's
It-
strange.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
uh, yeah. So everyone's safe, but Meliodas lost his sword, and we get a reveal of what it is by Helbram. It's a key to resurrect the demon race, a
Oh
piece
my
of the
god.
coffin of darkness. Which that would be a cool reveal if we knew what the fuck any of that meant.
Dang. Why does Meliodas have a key to the demon race? Wait, he has
What the
demon
fuck is a
powers.
coffin of darkness?
Yeah, what's that?
Who gives it? Who gives a shit?
Uh, yeah, I guess. Well,
Yeah. Da, da,
there.
da. Oh yeah, and I think I forget if this is the end of the arc or the start of the next, but we we learn a bit about the two factions about the
You know,
Holy
Hendrik.
Knights, the
Yeah.
Dreyfus faction and Hendrickson faction.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn that Hendrickson's been growing steadily, his influence with the new generation, and that this could lead to all out holy war. We got this big 2-page spread of a bunch of black-eyed new generation members, and it's cool, it's intimidating,
We're
but it
never gonna
completely
see.
falls flat.
Yeah, we're never
Yeah,
gonna see any of these characters, and it's like pretty clear in their designs that they're just fucking jobbers.
the only new generation people we actually know of are Gila and Jericho, and that's not going to change.
Yeah.
None of these people, like, I don't think we see any new generation people fight in the Castle Invasion arc, be it beyond Gila and Jericho
No,
and
I can't.
Hendrickson.
I can't remember. Like,
Pretty much
were
nobody.
they there at all? Like, maybe there was like a part where they got one shot by Diane or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
I guess we'll find out eventually.
Eventually, but
Maybe.
for now, we're going into. Oh yeah, Graham survives and takes Veronica to go be buried in a place.
Oh yeah, they go to the ocean or whatever. I don't know.
Ocean man, take me by the sand, lead me in the pants.
Yep, Veronica's dead.
F.
And then all the Sins are training. Well, I guess
Oh
just
yeah,
Bon and King are training because they're like, stronger.
yeah. Well, it's nice to see
Who,
them doing
who
that.
wake?
I like that they're taking Elizabeth's goals and helping her out seriously enough to like do some training.
They got their asses beat, so they gotta get
Yeah,
strong. And also,
yeah,
we learn that Bon, well, he wants to resurrect Elaine. Well, actually, I
yeah.
guess
But
we already knew that, but like, we're learning how he's what he
yeah,
wants to do.
we're getting a concrete like plan to do so.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking an actual step towards that, which is nice.
Yeah, it's cool. This
Through the
is
through
just
the
not
use,
completely like stagnant characters or they're just
yeah,
forgetting about their goals and stuff.
and he's gonna do it through the use of this thing that we. I don't know what it is, but it's a
I
thing.
guess we will eventually, maybe.
Perhaps. Yeah. But yeah, that's it's a nice little thing, and I think that's the end of this arc.
Pretty much. I mean, well, actually, it's kind of cool. We get to see Meliodas. He just grabs a fucking stick, a twig, and just swings it and cracks a mountain in half.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat.
It kind of
No more, no
yeah.
more holding back.
It's
Destroys
another
mountain.
it's another like way that we see that them using tools is like a way to amplify their powers.
Yep.
Like as we saw, like we didn't even really talk about it, but like Diane finally got her sacred weapon, and like she went like her power level skyrocketed. It
Yeah.
was like
Honestly,
insane. It's
truly.
really cool to see.
Yes.
And even in the next arc, we kind of see a little bit of like what they can do with weapons, like when as opposed to barehanded, like even
Mm.
just regular weapons, not sacred tools.
Yep.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now into the next arc, the armor giant arc or whatever it's called. I don't know. I guess it's called
Yeah.
that.
It starts out very differently compared to the anime.
Yeah, it does. We see
In
Peliodas and the other seven deadly sins.
the true Seven Deadly Sins.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, for you anime onlys, as a refresher, in the anime during the Vaizel Fighting Festival, we saw this one dude, Alan, walking around with a giant armored thing who we assume to be Gother. And they have like a little dynamic. He like reads to quote unquote Gother to keep him calm. And that's kind of like what the setup is. But here the setup is different. We're first introduced to a
Hmm.
bunch of kids playing Seven Deadly Sins, apparently.
I believe all this does happen in the anime. It's just that stuff happens
Nah,
before it. Doesn't?
nope,
Oh,
nope.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah, yep.
I feel like it would be cool to have both, but okay. I
We
like the way the
technically
anime did it though.
we technically do have both because one of the Signs of the Holy War OVA has Pelio in a different context.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait,
yeah, that
wait. So these
what?
kids weren't in the anime at
No,
all?
nope, not in the slightest.
Okay. Anyways, so we kind of we go through like these kids and they're all pretending to be different sins. And I think this is
Yep,
actually the first time we actually got a list of what all the sins are, like in like the animal that they represent and everything. Like we see
maybe
like the boar sin of gluttony and the lion sin of pride, um, and
maybe
the
yeah,
yeah, and the goat sin of lust. Like those are the ones that we haven't met yet. So I think this is the first time we actually learn what those sins are.
could be. I think you might be right.
Possibly.
And the goat sin of lust is this scraggly dude Armando.
Mm-hmm. What a guy. What a
I think the
fellow.
bait I think the bait and switch of Gother's identity is much better here because we got a bunch of these kids and like Armando slash actual Gother doesn't really like stand out amazingly from them. So we just think like, oh, it's a bunch of kids.
I mean,
You
aside
know
from the
what I
fact
mean?
that he is not a kid, but yeah.
That's true.
Well, he does stand out, but like not in the way that makes you think he's like literally Gother.
Yeah, you don't think he's that important.
He's
You
just
think
like
he's on the level.
yeah. He's like just a
You think he's
village
on the
guy.
level of like Mead.
Yeah, like a random villager or whatever.
Guys, it's me, Mead. I'm actually Escanor.
Holy shit.
I'd like that. Uh,
What if?
yeah, so they meet a bunch of kids, but at the same time, we cut back to Helbram and Gila and Jericho, learning that the armored giant, quote unquote, has been spotted in this place, and Helbram says to send the Dawn Roar or the Roars of Dawn or whatever your translation says.
Yeah. The Roars of Dawn, I believe it was for me.
Mine said Dawn Roar, but the anime says Roars of Dawn.
Yeah. Actually, I think the one that I'm reading, I think like halfway through it like switched to like the official volume releases. So, I don't know, it's weird. I don't
Mine
know.
was a fan translation, so mine was called the Dawn Roar, and the leader was called Threader.
Redder. Huh.
Yes.
What the hell is up with these translations?
Uh, oh yeah,
Anyways,
Elizabeth is randomly sick this arc.
yeah, because she's not supposed to be there, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the reason
And
why.
also they can't have Diane because Diane is really strong now and
Yeah,
she would one-shot
she,
everything.
yeah, she's a bit too strong for the plot for this arc, so they
Yeah.
just kind of sideline her.
I really like this arc because it's like a much smaller scale arc, like in between two larger arcs.
I
It
agree.
actually reminds me of the Search for Tsunade arc in Naruto, where it's like right after the Chunin exams, in between the Chunin exams and the Sasuke retrieval. It's kind of like a breakaway, like into like kind of going back to the status quo of like smaller arcs.
Yeah, a more not concise, like a smaller, more well suited to the story
Hmm.
cast. Nobody's really being shoehorned in. There's not a lot of like important new characters. Like there's not a huge cast to keep track of.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's like the arcs like before the Vaizel Fighting Festival. It's like the like those arcs. So it's kind of like
yeah.
like I said, it's like kind of going back to
Especially
form.
in the manga with the kids,
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
they definitely help it feel more low stakes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the kids playing Seven Deadly Sins hear about the armored giant thing, and they want to see the Holy Knights fight it. So they run off, and Meliodas and King and Bond give chase because they think it's Gother and they want to save him. Uh, and they happen upon a standoff between the armored giant and the roars of dawn.
Yeah.
I like the
And then Armando dies.
guys.
Yep, he gets
Yeah,
killed one shot, fucking
I
dead
Gother.
by Gother. Yeah, Gother kills Armando. Holy shit. Uh,
Can't believe it. Oh
Trigger
yeah,
warning, guys. Trigger warning.
I, I wanted to say the roars of dawn. I like their. I think they're pretty neat. I think they have cool designs, and they hold
Yeah,
their own fairly well.
it would be really cool if like everybody, if Slater wasn't the only one that mattered
Yeah,
later on.
and the only one that survives.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah. I'm just gonna
They
forget.
they die in the most of them die in the manga, and the anime they survive, but then the anime switches back to the manga's events, so then they are in fact dead.
Yeah, it does the weird thing where they ended the anime this first season differently because weren't sure if they were gonna continue it.
Right. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Uh, oh yeah, I wanted to say that I kind of get why the kids were cut from the anime. They don't really add much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's I think it's cool to have Pelio. Pelio is cool.
Pelio was
Like
important enough.
the other ones are just like tacked on.
Pelio
And like
feels like he facilitates some interesting stuff with Gother.
yeah. And then back to like with the Roars of Dawn, um like they're all really cool and like I like their personalities and stuff. But like I feel like there's just not enough like time here to like really give them any kind of like focus and like they all just kind of seem tacked on. Like
Hmm.
they're all really interesting and like characters that I would like to learn more about, but like we don't get the chance here and we don't get the chance in the future.
Hmm.
It's kind of like with Veronica where like
Yeah, yeah.
there's
You
potential
think?
there, but they're just removed from the story
Yeah.
way too early.
At least Slater is like important.
Yeah, Slater remains important for like a lot for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's a big fight between the Three Sins and the Roars of Dawn while they try to take on Gother at the same time. Uh, I like the return of King's statuification power, and that facilitates a pretty neat bit where one of the Roars of Dawn orders another to cut his arm off, so it doesn't actually happen.
I don't think he ordered it actually. I think it just happened.
Yeah, he said like Simon, and then the
Oh.
weird out of place samurai guy comes in and cuts
Hmm.
his arm off. Why is there a samurai?
Because
That's good. Yeah, true enough. True enough. It's good
but yeah,
reasoning
I thought it
because
was cool how like there was like literally no hesitation where it's just like, "Oh, I'm being petrified. Might as well just cut the arm off."
yep. Yeah, and the archer one fires a big arrow at Gother. It looks like it hits, but actually Armando's alive and he caught it. Ooh. And he starts narrating himself what's happening. And his appearance changes and he reveals that he's actually Gother. It's,
Oh my god.
it's a pretty good reveal, I think. I
Yeah.
feel like not a lot of people might have guessed.
Yeah,
Also, I
it's
wanted to
weird
note
because he's like the sin of gluttony. Well, not the sin of gluttony. He's the
lust.
sin of lust. But he's
Yeah,
like this doll who has no emotions.
yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Well, you'll see. We'll find out later on why he's called that.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
guess.
Uh, I like that Gother's speech bubbles are rectangular when he's acting like himself, because that tells us that like he's a pretty off
Yeah,
guy.
he's like a robot or whatever.
He's
Well, I
not. Yeah,
know
he's
what he is,
very.
but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
he
He's like he has
emotionless.
no like. Yeah, emotionless. That's the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of interesting. Earlier, like when he was Armando, it was kind of interesting that he was able to act like just a regular person when like
Hmm.
on the inside he's like like he's so like artificial and like emotionless,
Yeah,
like we said, and like uh
yeah. He like acts the part of a
mhm.
normal person as
Like
best he can, but like
he
he
has the
really doesn't
capability
get it.
to, yeah, he has the capability to like act like a person. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm just repeating myself.
he like he can pass, he can act his way out of it, but when he's acting like himself, he's like he's completely like blank and yeah, he doesn't really like get human emotions really. It's an interesting thing. I'll
Mhm.
talk about I want to talk about that more later after see near the end. And
Okay. Cool.
I wanted to note now that I don't know why the Sins reacted to his like changing transformation like they suddenly recognized him if they say right after that they never actually saw what he looked like in the armor.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like that they no, they didn't recognize like what he looked like. They just recognized like the way he was speaking and like
Maybe.
yeah, because that's very distinctive.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I was reading it.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he was strong enough to do what he did, and also because he literally had the fucking goat tattoo right on his
Oh yeah.
chest, right there.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of stiff stuff to distinguish him as Gother in that
That's
instance.
true. That's
Even if
true.
because like they never did know his face, like that wouldn't be something that they would recognize. So they would obviously pay a lot more attention to like other features of him.
Yeah. Uh yeah, so Gother is revealed and he tries to get the Roars of Dawn to go away. Tells them that like, do you really think you can beat this thing behind me? And Slater assesses that like, yeah, we may lose one or two, but like I think we could still take it down. And that little like bit actually endears him a lot to me, I think. He's not being cocky, but like
He's being
he actually
honest.
does think, yeah, he's being honest and he thinks that yeah, we can. And I like that.
Hmm.
And so yeah, Gother just takes off the head of the demon and gives it to Slater. Like, here, this completes your mission, and you can now leave. Bye. And he takes the deal.
He's out of there.
Yeah, the Dawn Roar. They book it out of there just in time for the armored giant to bust out of the armor completely. And oh, look, it's a monster.
Oh my god, it's monster demon guy dude with many
Ah,
head.
real monsters.
Yes. Is
The
this
artificial demon design is very unique. I don't know if I like it, but it's definitely creative. What do you
uh
think of it?
yeah, I agree. I mean like it's nasty as fuck and that's cool, I guess. It's metal, one would say.
I think it's creative, and I think it fits the art style. I think like something super edgy wouldn't fit, but this is just weird enough to fit right. I think.
It fits with like the fantasy vibe we got going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, they start fighting the thing. Bon and Meliodas have to like scrounge the fallen knights around them for some weapons, which I like that.
Yeah. Because like I was saying earlier, it's getting to the point where like they can't just keep fighting barehanded because like the power levels are just going up and like
Hmm.
they need to compensate.
Hmm.
So now they're using weapons.
Yep. So now they're throwing down, and we cut back to the Boar's Hat, and Kane's back.
Kane is there. He's an
He's
old
back.
guy and
He's,
he likes to
he's
drink.
back. Pretty much the same thing. Exposit and then peace out.
Basically, yeah. He exists for exposition. He
I don't
gives
think we ever
Elizabeth
see him
sword.
again after this arc.
Probably.
I don't think so.
He gives Elizabeth sword and Elizabeth gives sword Meliodas there. They win.
Yes.
not. I mean, anyways.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, he talks about like how we learn a bit more about like the backstory of Liz and Meliodas and like how um
Hmm.
Meliodas kind of like spared her like because she was like a criminal or whatever, and he spared her because she had boobies or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
And then she wanted to give him a sword, and she wanted like because actually it was kind of cool. We learned about why Meliodas never actually carries a sword like a real sword, and it's because he's just so strong that if he like
Yep.
uses a sword on like anybody other than like the most top tier of people, like they'll just die. Like there's no
Yeah.
like he can't hold back.
You don't want to kill nobody.
Yeah. And so she wants to give him a sword so that he can always defend himself when he has to.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of a big thing here with Meliodas because he wants to respect like the wishes of people and like even if it's gonna get him killed.
He respects the life. He doesn't want
Yes.
to. He doesn't want people to die for no reason, which comes into play soon with the fight. Um, he's going at it. He's going at the armored giant when he hears the guy who's like stuck in the middle of the thing talking, and Meliodas starts thinking like maybe we can save this guy. Maybe there's something we can do to save him. And they
Mm,
like they recognize him too. They realize like,
yeah.
oh my god, that's Dale. I remember that dude.
Hmm.
We have to save him.
Yeah,
But
so
like,
Meliodas wants to like save him somehow. Meanwhile, he's just this giant rampaging monster that none of them has the power to control or subdue at all, and their only option is to kill him, and Meliodas doesn't want to.
yeah, yeah, and we also get like a little bit of like this isn't just Meliodas saying like I know this guy.
Yeah,
We
they all
thanks
know him.
to well, what I'm getting at is that like Gother shoots an arrow into the guy, which like it's like some sort of like illusionary arrow that puts him into like a memory of his, and we see that like, oh, this is Gila and her brother's dad.
Yeah.
He's the missing dad who we learned about in that little side story, and like we see like his regrets of life. He's saying like, I wish I could have stay. I wish I could stay. I wish I could be with you, but I can't. Please look after your brother Gila. I'm so sorry. And like it makes the monster like rampage even harder and like
Hmm.
mutate further. And yeah, so like we kind of know who this guy is now too for ourselves, and we're kind of like maybe we may be on the same side of Meliodas. Like maybe we can save this guy. Maybe there's something to be done. But at the same time,
They're gonna
you have
fucking
like
die.
you have the Bond, the realist, there being like, there's no way you can save somebody who's gone this far, and if we try, we might die. You can't keep being so naive, Captain.
Yeah. And so he needs so basically Elizabeth shows up and kind of gives a speech like uh Liz wanted you to live and not to she wanted to protect him and not for him to protect everyone else.
Yeah,
And like think, kind of like think about yourself for once in is
yeah,
kind of a way to say it.
yeah. Meliodas is trying to find the way out that where he can save the life, but like he's he has to slowly comes to term with like this is a no-win scenario. I've got to put this guy out of this misery. You realize like even though Bond is really like channeling his vendetta against any demon and his general disregard for life and is like going crazy trying to kill it. Bond is kind of like in the right here, and Meliodas has to come to grip with that. It's really good, like it's really good conflict because it's based around the characters' values and personalities, and Meliodas just has to suck it up and put Dale down.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but that's life, you know.
But and then at the end, when he finally gets this sword, um, we kind of see like what he can really do when he's holding like a sword like that's actually like made for him.
Yeah.
It may not be a sacred treasure, but it's still like a strong weapon,
Hmm.
which is cool.
Better than any old rusty dangled sword
Hmm.
on the ground.
And then after the fight's over, we kind of get this bit with Gother where he's kind of like going and revealing everyone's secrets or whatever. And we get this part with King where we learn that King, he should have been able to defeat the monster on his own, but he couldn't because like he
He's
was
got
kind of
Helbram on the
he was
brain.
yeah he was kind of feeling down from the whole thing with Helbram, so he wasn't able to bring out his full power.
Yeah. Gotha's just kind of like going around revealing everybody's secrets because he can see into
Yeah,
people's minds.
he's like,
He,
Diane is actually 30 feet, not 29 feet tall. Oh my
yeah.
god.
He,
Because
he
she
like
has like her
bluntly
complex, yeah.
he bluntly says that like Elizabeth's in love with Meliodas. He reveals that it was Merlin that like betrayed Meliodas when they were framed.
Yeah.
That's an interesting detail.
We keep getting this thing over and over again where it's like where they keep trying to make it seem like some of the sins are like actually evil or like betrayed the other sins, where like we got the part earlier where King was like on the side of the kingdom and he was like fighting the other sins and stuff. And now
But
we've
then
got
he's not.
and now we've got like it's like Merlin apparently betrayed Meliodas or whatever, but it's
What?
that's not.
But it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So like, last thing I wanted to talk about is Gother himself because yeah, it was obviously cut from the anime because they cut out all the kids, but like there's like a one last conversation he has with Pelio, who he's like he was a servant to this kid's family, so they obviously have like a thing together, and like Pelio's like asking him to come back tearfully, and Gother's just like, no, Armando has never existed, and like we
Accept
learn that
reality
like,
already.
huh?
Accept reality already.
Pretty much, yeah, and like Pelio pretty much asks like, was it all a lie? Why are you acting so different? And Gotha's just like, oh, I based my personality as Armando after a jester from a circus that you really liked, and I based my different hair off of a picture of your mother that you apparently adored when she was alive. And this little like way he curated his personality to fit Pelio's
It's really cool.
like his it, it's it's more just interesting to me. Like he he does care for others and he wishes to make and keep bonds with people and he tries to act normal and helpful, but his ideas of normal and helpful are very different. He completely changes himself to what he thinks others will prefer, even if it's really like invasive. Like if
Mm-hmm.
like if somebody wanted you to like them, so they styled their hair in the same way of your long dead mother, that'd be like weird and creepy.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have any like sense of like
Yeah,
right and
yeah,
wrong or anything. Yeah. Because
that's what
he's
I'm getting at. He's really out of touch with what's okay, and that's like something that's really important to his character going forward. The fact
yeah.
that he doesn't have this like his conscience of what's okay is really off base, and that leads to situations like this where what he thinks is okay is really like invasive and like odd, and like he's doing this stuff that he thinks is okay but everybody else is really uncomfortable with, and like that really intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see
Yeah. It's really cool. Like I
where
want
this
to.
goes with him.
Yeah. It's interesting to see like where this is gonna go.
It's much more interesting than if he was just like another nice guy.
Yeah. Honestly, in the past, Gother was like probably one of my least favorite characters, but I feel like right now he's probably like my favorite character, to be honest. Like I just like
I'd say,
where his character's going and what's going on with it.
yeah, I think he's second to Bond for me.
Yeah, Bon is obviously like hilarious.
He's cool.
I also really like the comedic moments with Gother though, where uh, like for example, where he's revealing everyone's secrets and stuff. That was great,
Yeah,
and like how he's just like, uh, what am I trying to say? He's like,
he's out of touch.
he's out of touch. He's like emotionless and
Mm.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's anything else you want to say, or is that it?
I think that's pretty much it. To be honest,
Nice.
I didn't really have too many thoughts in this section. Um, just more of the same, I guess, from the last
Yeah,
section we read.
yeah. It was
Um,
enjoyable.
yeah. The next section is going to be pretty interesting. It's kind of like a climax kind of arc
Yeah,
almost.
this is the end of like the first saga.
Basically,
We're
yeah.
going to the Kingdom Invasion arc, which is chapters 60 to 100 and episodes 16 to 25.
Hold on. Actually, yeah, 20 whatever the last episode of season 1 is, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not all. What else are we doing?
Oh yeah, we're also watching the
The
OVA
OVAs.
Signs of Holy War, or
Yep.
I think it's called Saishin no Shirushi or whatever in
Shush,
Japanese.
shush, 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 shush.
Because I watched it when it came out because I
Nice.
thought it was gonna be season 2 and it wasn't.
Mhm.
It turned out to
It
just
was
be
just it
filler.
was yeah, it was just a bunch of lame filler episodes.
It's interesting though. There's some cool stuff going on with it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. I feel
Oh,
like the Kingdom Infiltration is like really analogous to the reincarnation arc in Black Clover.
oh yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
It's
We'll
interesting.
see. We'll see how it goes
We will
next
see
time.
how it goes. Oh yeah, click on links. There's links there. Remember
There's
to
a link there. There's a link there. There's a link
yeah.
here. There's one here. Here.
Remember to
Here.
check out the video. With MHA Black Clover stuff.
I like
Uh,
that video.
underdogs and Naruto's in it.
I
Naruto.
ro- I talk about the movie Underdog for 25 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Underdog. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Created by Naruto himself.
Created by Hawk.
Hawk was in it also. Yeah, he was the co-star. Uh,
Hawk.
anyways, that's it. Bye.
Goodbye.